good morning everyone. Today we're learning the Maimer on this week's Parsha, which is a very interesting story in the Haftorah of this week's Parsha. There was a woman that came to Elisha and she said that my husband died and he left a lot of debts. He had a lot of debts. And the people that he owes the money to are coming to ask for the money. I have nothing I don't own anything. He didn't leave me with anything. He left me poor, plus all the debts. And they want to take my two sons as collateral for my paying the debt. So Elisha says to the lady, do you have anything at home? Anything left? So she says, I have a little jar of oil. He says, really? Go to your neighbors and go borrow hundreds of empty vessels. Bring them into your house. Close the door. Take the little jar of oil that you have left and start to pour. And it's going to keep pouring till all the vessels get filled up. And then you sell the oil and you'll have money to live to pay all the debts, plus you'll be able to live with the rest for your life, your children's life, till Mashiach comes. So she did it, and they started to bring vessels after vessels and vessels, and the oil is pouring and pouring and pouring, and tzachkeflag until they say no more empty vessels, finish, and she sold. That is the story of the first part of this Haftorah. So the question is, what does God do with the Parsha? We know the Haftorah of every Parsha, the reason they put the Haftorah, because in the times of the Romans, they weren't allowed to read the Torah. So the sages sat and found different parts of the prophets that speak of a similar theme of the Parsha. And they made it the Haftorah, and they read that only. So when they read the Haftorah, they reminded themselves of the Parsha. Today we could read the Torah, but we still read the Haftorah. So there must be that in this story, there's a connection to the Parsha of this week. What is this story about someone owing money and coming and complaining to Elisha that I don't have, and they want to take my two kids? So the Rebbe says that this story is the story of every soul. Every Jewish soul comes to Elisha, to God. Why? Because in Torah, what is a Jewish soul called? Isha Achas. One woman. A soul is a woman. Why? God is the husband and we're the wife. And it comes to Elisha. Elisha is two words. Eli, God, Shah. I'm calling to God. And I say, God, I want to connect to you. I love you. But the debt, the guy that I owe money to is coming to take my two children. Who's this guy? The animal soul, which is the one that's trying and grabbing my two children, which is children is love and awe. Love of Hashem and awe, and it wants to take me away, that I shouldn't love Hashem and I shouldn't have awe of Hashem. Instead, I should love ice cream and I should be awful instead of awe of Hashem. So it's taking away my two children, my two motives, my two yearning. It's taking it away. What should I do? I want to love you. I want to connect to you. But this guy is coming and he's pulling away my love and he's trying to convince me not to love Hashem. What do? You gave me such a strong animal soul. So Elisha, God says to the soul, is there anything that he didn't touch that you still have? He says, I have a little jar of oil. Every Jew has a little pintel yid. Pintel yid is the little piece of his soul that is always pure. It's called olive oil. So God says, oh, if that's the case, take your little pintel yid, reveal the essence of your soul, but bring a lot of empty vessels. What does empty vessels mean? Torah and mitzvahs. Those are the empty vessels, and fill it with your oil, meaning learn Torah and do mitzvahs, not because you love Hashem, because the guy took away your love, Not because do it because you're a Jew. The essence of your soul, the little jar of oil. And by doing so, you'll get rid of the animal soul, and you'll be able to live and get back the love and get back the awe of Hashem even more than before. Because the light that comes from darkness and the transformation of the challenge into positive, that's even a higher light. So she says, oh, thank you, Hashem. And does mitzvahs, even though they don't feel the love, but they're doing it because they just have a connection to Hashem because I'm a Jew. Yeah. And that will eventually bring me back, that I'll love Hashem and I'll do. So basically the lesson is very simple. Do the Torah, the mitzvahs. Learn Torah even if you don't have the love. Even if you don't have the awe. And when you have that, automatically the love will be reborn and realignment, and you'll be able to connect to Hashem in an infinite way. So this is the connection to this week's Parsha, because in this week's Parsha you have the same thing. Avram Avinu, right, circumcised himself, and they came, and then they wanted to take Yitzchak. Remember, they wanted to take Yitzchak, and they wanted Shmuel wanted to kill Yitzchak and grab him, and Avram's Asara says, kick Ishmael out, get rid of the negative. So Hashem should help. We should connect to God, and we should connect the little jar of oil and get rid of all the negative in a revealed way.